Everyone, Bigelow Reviews here, back with another review. First review of the new year, that being 2022, and we are coming out of the gates hot with this one. We have the Weeknd's brand new album and the follow-up to After Hours. This is my review of Dawn FM. Like I said, Dawn FM is the new album by The Weeknd. This is like a direct follow-up to After Hours, which I was a pretty decent fan of when it first came out. The more I listened to After Hours, I enjoyed it more and more. I love the 80s synths in it. That album broke all of the records on pop music back in 2020. The Weeknd really had like its first like major moment in like the mainstream where he ended up performing at the Super Bowl and basically got everything he wanted. All the songs on those albums, the hit songs are escaping my head right now. Made him a crap ton of money. They were on the Billboard's #1 charts forever, beating like a bunch of like the Beatles records, beating Michael Jackson records, and just really owned the year. But 2 years later, we have this album. Like I said, it's a follow-up to the previous one, and it has the same kind of vibe to it, the same 80s influence. Excuse me. But in comparison of like After Hours, where it's like real 80s synth pop heavy, this album has like a disco-y dance hall vibe to it, where it's a little more booming clapping sounds and more like your traditional 80s like club music. Honestly, even if you look at the lyrics, the songs are relatively happy in tone when it comes to what The Weeknd usually sings about. But to me, this music, it feels like it's heavily influenced by like bands like The Cure and bands of that nature, Joy Division and everything. Just because of like how sad the music itself sounds, even though the lyrics are as bad as The Weeknd usually gets. Dawn FM does have a rather odd setup. Yes, it's Dawn FM. It's supposed to be like a adult contemporary type of radio feel with of all people Jim Carrey being the radio host of the show, which is pretty cool to hear his voice. It works rather well. It kind of reminds me of like the Truman Show for some reason. I don't know why, but great movie. Recommend checking that out. So the theme of the album is that After Hours, yes, is like you're living it up, you're doing all your like your bad things, your cocaine-induced partying and everything, and then Dawn FM is like I read that it's like going into a tunnel, stuck in traffic, but at the end of the tunnel is death. But like I said, it's a relatively happy album, but considering the Weeknd's normal stuff. Basically, Jim Carrey is directing you through this like experience of life and death and all of this. And from the whole entire album standpoint, but from beginning to end, I feel like this album really doesn't hold up to as well as After Hours was. Like I said, I liked After Hours a lot. I think in my previous review that I typed out for the website, I gave it like a 78. But for this one, I'm not really feeling it from beginning to end. There's a few songs on here that I really like. A lot of people don't like the first real song of the album, but I think Gasoline is a pretty kick-ass track. I like The Weeknd's modulated voice on here. I think Abel does a really good job kind of like balancing it out to try to like make himself sound a little different. You know, we never really heard Abel's voice in this sense that like it's not his typical high-pitched register, but it's literally like pitched down like something that Tyler, the Creator, would do. Do I need more of it in my life? No, but but I like it. It's a different taste, a different take on what he normally does, and I enjoy the track a lot. Another one on here I really like is the main single that released before this album came out for the rollout. I really like Take My Breath, but I like the album version a lot more. It's an extended version. It's like 5.5 minutes long, but it's awesome. But it has this like Eye of the Tiger type feel to it with the chugging guitars, like doom, which, like I said, this album kind of takes liberties with 80s music and taking kind of like a sample. I don't think it's exactly a sample, but it sounds pretty damn close of Eye of the Tiger. Another song on here that I really do like a lot, and I think is going to be like Abel's next hit, is the song Less Than Zero. That song is amazing. It has an insanely good hook in the chorus. It's just It is pop music at its best. But like I said, those are my favorite songs off the album. The few things I do have an issue with is the one track with Lil Wayne. That song is called I Heard You're Married, the song with Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's feature on here is trash. It doesn't even sound like he's on beat. It's really annoying. I'm not a fan of it, not at all, not in the slightest, really. And then even his line about he's like, since this girl's getting married that The Weeknd likes, Lil Wayne says he's like, I'm gonna kill him, no hubcap. It's just like, husband, hub, your hubby, hubcap. That's not cool. Lil Wayne is not the only rapper featured on this album. We have Tyler, the Creator, is featured on here as well for the song. Tyler's on here for the song Here We Go Again. I like that track. Tyler's feature is good. It works, especially with the type of music that Tyler's been making in the last few years. It works. It does what it needs to do. It fits. I really like the part about like Tyler's talking about like, here we go again. This girl's trying to take all my money when we get together. Why do we need to get married? To like prove that we like to, interact with each other in that way. And so he's going to make this girl sign this. Oh, there goes my phone. He's like, I'm going to make you sign this prenup. So he's like, the girl doesn't take all of his money because, girls be doing that to rich guys sometimes and vice versa, I'm sure. I find the radio commercial song, Every Angel is Terrifying. I think that it's kind of a drag. I get that it's keeping with the tone and the energy of the album. But I wasn't too crazy about it. The beat in the commercial goes crazy, and then it just kind of like goes into a commercial. I was like, oh man, you had a nice thing going, and then you ruined it. Another thing that kind of bothered me with the song "Sacrifice." It sounded like something Michael Jackson would make, which is just a big gripe I have with The Weeknd in general. I feel like a lot of his music does sound like something Michael Jackson would have made, and I don't like when artists copy other people, but I get it. There's only so many things you could do with music. It sounds too much like Thriller, even like just the way that he sings. It sounds like it lines up perfectly with like the Thriller track, or it sounds like Beat It or something. It sounds too much like Michael Jackson, and I'm not here for that. Not a big fan of somebody copying and ripping off one of the greatest albums of all time. The song Out of Time also has the same instance where I think it sounds like it's being straight up ripped away from Michael Jackson, especially with like the bell part in it. That sounds like something Michael Jackson would have done. I don't know exactly what song, but I can hear it in my head. But the influences on this album are insane. A lot of the stuff sounds like it could be like a Daft Punk song. A lot of the production on here is amazing. Like I said, it does embody like the 80s nightclub vibe compared to After Hours embodying the poppier side of pop music in the 80s. But yeah, I'm not really feeling this album that much. Personally, I'm not crazy about it, but I understand that a lot of people do love this album and that it does kick ass for them. It doesn't hit for me. I don't think it's bad. Boy, am I going to go back and listen to the whole thing? No. I will definitely listen to the 3 songs I listed. I like Gasoline a lot. Less Than Zero, and the other one. But yeah, those are my 3 favorite things. Those are my takeaways from the album. I feel Dawn FM by The Weeknd. I'm going to give it a 63. What do you guys think? Put your scores down in the comment below. Please subscribe, follow, all the good stuff. Follow me on Twitter at Bigelow Reviews or at 72BrettNerd27, also on there. And I'll see you in the next one. Biggie out.